everyone, welcome to the session Official Google Cloud Data Engineer Exam Assessment Test 2021. First question is, you are investigating long latencies in Cloud Bigtable query response times. Most queries finish is less than 20 ms, but the 99th percentile queries can take up to 400 ms. You examine a key visualizer heat map and see two areas with bright colors indicating hotspots. What could be causing those hotspots? Option A, improperly used secondary index. So my dear, Cloud Bigtable doesn't have secondary indexes. That's why option A is incorrect. Option B, less than optimal partition key. So Cloud Bigtable doesn't use partition key. That's why option B is also incorrect. Option C, improperly designed row key. Option C, improperly designed row key is correct because hotspots occur when a row key design doesn't adequately distribute read and write load for a given query pattern. Okay, so here option C is correct. Option D, failure to use a read replica. Option D is incorrect because the hotspots are not caused by failure to use a read replica, although using a read replica may reduce the load on the nodes with hotspots. Option D is incorrect here, and overall correct answer is option C, improperly designed row key. Next question. An IoT startup has hired you to review their Cloud Bigtable design. The database stores data generated by over 100,000 sensors that send data every 60 seconds. Each row contains all the data for one sensor sent during an hour. Hours always start at the top of the hour. The row key is the sensor ID concatenated to the hour of the day followed by the date. What change, if any, would you recommend to this design? Option A. Use one row per sensor and 60-second data sets instead of storing multiple data sets in a single row. So my dear, yes, option A is correct because this table should be designed as a tall and narrow one with a single data set in each row. Okay, so option A, use one row per sensor and 60-second data sets instead of storing multiple data sets in a single row is recommendation to this design. Okay, option B, start the row key with the day and hour instead of the sensor ID. So my dear, option B is incorrect because starting a row key with the date and hour will lead to hotspotting. Okay, so option B is not correct. Option C. Now option C. Allow hours to start and any arbitrary time to accommodate differences in sensor clocks is incorrect. Since changing the start time will not change the parts of the design that make querying by ranges more difficult than they need to be. That's why option C is not suitable. Option D, no change is recommended. So my dear, the structure of rows should be changed for wide to narrow. That's why option D is incorrect. Okay, so overall correct answer is option A. Use one row per sensor and 60-second data sets instead of storing multiple data sets in a single row. Next question. Your company has a Cloud Bigtable database that requires a strong consistency, but it also requires high availability. You have implemented Cloud Bigtable replication and specified single cluster routing in the app profile for the database. Some users have noted that they occasionally receive query results inconsistent with what they should have received. The problem seems to correct itself within a minute. What could be the cause of this particular problem? Option A. Secondary indexes are being updated during the query and return incorrect results when a secondary index is not fully updated. So my dear, Option A is incorrect because Cloud Bigtable doesn't have secondary indexes, as you know very well. So option A is incorrect. Now option B. You have not specified an app configuration file that includes single cluster routing and use of replicas only for failover. So my dear, option B is correct because the only way to achieve a strong consistency in Cloud Bigtable is by having all reads routed from a single cluster and using the other replicas only for failover. Okay, option B is correct. Option C. Tablets are being moved between nodes which can cause inconsistent query results. So option C is not suitable in this case because moving tablets doesn't impact read consistency. That's why is neglected. Now option D. The row key is not properly designed. So my dear, a poor row key design can impact performance but not consistency. That's why option D is also incorrect. And I hope it's clear to you. Correct answer is option B. Next question. You have been tasked with migrating a MongoDB database to Cloud Spanner. MongoDB is a document database similar to Cloud Firestore. You would like to maintain some of the document organization of the MongoDB design. What data type available in Cloud Spanner would you use to define a column that can hold a document like a structure? Option A, array. So my dear, in array data structure, our elements are same data types. Okay, maybe integers, maybe characters. But items in a documents may consist of different data types. That's why option A, array is discarded. Okay, now option B is string. So my dear, option B is incorrect because although a document could be represented in a string, it doesn't not provide field label access to data like a struct does. Okay, option C is struct. Very important question and very simple also. Struct is correct answer for this question because the struct data type is used to store ordered type fields, and this is the closest to a document structure. That's why option C struct is correct here. And option D, JSON. JSON JSON is not a valid data type in Cloud Spanner. That's why option D is also incorrect. Okay. Next question. An application using a Cloud Spanner database has several queries that are taking longer to execute than the users would like. You review the queries and notice that they all involve joining 3 or more tables that are all related hierarchically. What feature of Cloud Spanner would you try in order to improve the query performance? Option A, replicated clusters. So my dear, here Cloud Bigtable, not to be Cloud Spanner, uses replicated clusters. Okay, but in the question given is Cloud Spanner database. That's why option A is incorrect. Next, option B, interleaved tables. Yes, option B, interleaved tables is correct here since the problematic queries involved joins of hierarchically related tables. Interleaving the data of the tables could improve join performance. Okay, option B is, that's why option B is correct. Option C is storing clause. Storing clause is used to create indexes that can answer queries using just the index, and that would not address the join performance problem. Okay, so option C is storing clauses incorrect. Option D, execution plans. So my dear, an execution plan might help you understand the cause of a performance problem, but it not on its own improve query performance. Okay, that's why option D is also incorrect. And correct answer is option B, interleaved tables. So my dear, an execution plan might help you understand the cause of a performance problem, but it not on its own improve query performance. Okay, that's why option D is also incorrect. And correct answer is option B, interleaved tables. So my dear, an execution plan might help you understand the cause of a performance problem, but it not on its own improve query performance. Okay, that's why option D is also incorrect. And correct answer is option B, interleaved tables. Next question. A cloud spanner database is using a natural key as the primary key for a large table. The natural key is the preferred key by users because the values are easy to relate to other data. Database administrators notice that these keys are causing hotspots on Cloud Spanner nodes and are adversely affecting performance. What would you recommend in order to improve performance? Option A, keep the data of the natural key in the table but use a hash of the natural key as the primary key. So my dear, option A is correct because while using a hash of the natural key, you will avoid hotspotting and keeping the natural key data in the table will make it available to users. Okay, so option A is best answer for this question. Option B, keep the natural key and let Cloud Spanner create more splits to improve performance. So option B is incorrect because Cloud Spanner automatically creates splits based on load. And if the database performance is adversely affected, then splitting is no longer sufficient to address the problem. That's why option B is not suitable in this case. Option C, use interleaved tables. So my dear, interleaved tables reduce the number of input-output operations performed when retrieving related data. Okay, that's why option C is not suitable. Now option D, use more secondary indexes. So my dear, adding more secondary indexes will not change the hot spotting pattern of the primary index. Okay, that's why is incorrect. And correct answer is option A. Next question. You are using a UUID as the primary key in a Cloud Spanner database. You have noticed hotspotting that you didn't anticipate. What could be the cause? Option A, you have too many secondary indexes. Option B, you have too few secondary indexes. So my dear, they both are incorrect because secondary indexes are not related to primary key hotspots. Okay, so option A and option B, they both are incorrect. Option C, you are using a type of UUID that has sequentially ordered a string at the beginning of the UUID is correct here because the likely cause is that you are using a UUID generator that uses time or other sequential values at the start of the key. Okay. Option D, you need to make the maximum length of the primary key longer. So my dear, UUIDs have a fixed, means constant length. So the size of the string used to store them should not need to be increased. That's why you need to make the maximum length of the primary key longer is incorrect in this case. Okay. Next question. You are working for a financial services firm on a cloud big table database. The database stores equity and bond trading information from approximately 950 customers. Over 10,000 equities and bonds are tracked in the database. New data is received at a rate of 5,000 data points per minute. What general design patterns would you recommend in this case? Option A, tall and narrow table. So my dear, option A, tall and narrow table is incorrect because it doesn't include one table for equities and one for bonds and all. Okay, in this case, recommended journal patterns are tall and narrow table respectively, and in this one table for equities and one for bonds. Okay, because there should be a small number of tall and narrow tables given in the question. Okay, so that's why here correct answer is option E, option A and option C. Okay, next question. You have been brought into a large enterprise to help with a data warehousing initiative. The first project of the initiative is to build a repository for all customer related data including sales, finance, inventory and logistics. It has not yet been determined how the data will be used. What Google Cloud Storage system would you recommend that the enterprise used to store that data. Option A, Cloud Bigtable. Option B, BigQuery. Option A, Cloud Bigtable, and option B, BigQuery, they both are incorrect because there is no information about how data will be queried or what data would be included. That's why option A and option B, they both are discarded. Option C, Cloud Spanner. Cloud Spanner is incorrect because Cloud Spanner is a global, horizontally scalable relational database designed for transaction processing. Okay, so my dear, option C is also incorrect. Now option D, Cloud Storage. Cloud storage is best for discussion because the enterprise is building a data lake for large volumes of data that is not yet organized for analytics. That's why option D is correct. Next question, data is streaming into a BigQuery table. As the data arrives, it's added to a partition that was automatically created that day. Data that arrives the next day will be written to a different partition. The data modeler didn't specify a column to use as a partition key. What kind of partition is being used in this case? Option A, ingestion time partitions tables. Yes, option A is correct since data is being written to partitions and the data modeler didn't specify a timestamp or integer columns as the partition key. It means it must be partition based on ingestion time. Okay, so my dear, option A is correct here. Option B, timestamp partitions tables. Option C, integer ranged partitioned tables. Both are incorrect because they require a column to be specified that has a partition value. Okay, option D, clustered table. So my dear, cluster tables are not a form of partitioning. That's why option B, C, D, they all are incorrect. Option A is correct. Next question, very important question. You are designing a BigQuery database with multiple tables in a single data set. The data stored in the data set is measurement data from sensors on vehicles in the company's fleet. Data is collected on each vehicle and downloaded at the end of each shift. After that, it's loaded into a partitioned value. It's loaded into a partitioned table. You want to have efficient access to the most interesting data, which you define as a particular measurement having a value greater than 10,000. You want to cluster on that measurement column, which is a float 64. When you define the table with a time-stamped partition table and clustering on the measurement column, you receive an error. What could that error be? Okay, so my dear, option A, you cannot use clustering on an external table. So option A is incorrect because the table is not external, because data is loaded into BigQuery. Okay, that's why option A is incorrect. Option B, you cannot use clustering with a float 64 columns as the clustering key, is correct here because float 64 is not a supported cluster column type. That's why option B is correct. And you can say that error will be you cannot use clustering with a float 64 columns as the clustering key. Okay, option C, the table is not the float 64 partition type. So my dear, option C is incorrect. There is no such things as a float 64 partition type. Okay, option D, the clustering key must be an integer or timestamp. So my dear, option D is incorrect. Clustering keys do not need to be integers or timestamps. They can be data, bool, geography, int, 64, numeric, a string, or timestamp. Okay. So my dear, correct answer is option. What data formats are supported for external tables in cloud storage and Google Drive? Option A, comma, dash, separated values only. And option B, comma, dash, separated values and arrow. They both are incorrect because they both missing at least one supported format. Okay. Option C, comma dash separated values, then arrow and new line dash delimited JSON is correct here, because comma dash separated values, comma arrow, comma and new line, comma delimited JSON are supported format for external tables in cloud storage and Google Drive. Okay, so option C is correct here. Option D, comma dash separated values, arrow, new line delimited JSON and paraquet is incorrect here, because here paraquet format is not supported in Google Drive, although it's supported in cloud storage but not in Google Drive. Okay, that's why option D is incorrect, and overall correct answer is option C. ओके गाइज, नाउ लेट्स वाइंड अप द सेशन. ये सेशन हम यहीं पर वाइंड अप करते हैं, बट इसके साथ साथ मैं आप लोगों से एक रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगी. जैसे कि आप सभी जानते हैं, कोविड की वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा सिचुएशन ख़राब है सभी जगह की. कोविड पेशेंट्स को ऑक्सीजन वगैरह अवेलेबल नहीं हो रही है, प्लाज्मा अवेलेबल नहीं हो पा रहा है, बेड ही अवेलेबल नहीं हो पा रहे हैं, सभी जगह बहुत ज़्यादा सिचुएशन ख़राब है. तो मेरी आपसे जस्ट एक रिक्वेस्ट है गाइज, इस वक्त आपके हाथ में सिर्फ जो एक बेस्ट थिंग है वो यही है कि आप इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ें जो हैं, आपको कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन मिलती है बेड से रिलेटेड, ऑक्सीजन से रिलेटेड, सो प्लीज़ आप उसे शेयर कीजिए अपने सोशल मीडिया के थ्रू, अपनी स्टोरी पर लगाइए. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग नाउ डेज. Just save life and helps to each other. Wish you very all the best. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye and take care. Be safe. Be happy.